Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming, and this is the first Watcher of Realm video on this channel. For those of you that have been watching me for Dragonair, well, I have my Raid channel. That's where I've been posting Watcher of Realms a lot, but I decided to swap it over to this channel, and because it's, you know, it's a new thing, I brought somebody on, and what better person to bring in than Fastidious. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you, Odd Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's basically, you know, we already had a collab on Dragonair, since we're talking about Dragon channel on your channel. I'm gonna link that video, even though it's been a couple of weeks since we had that collab. Still gonna put the link to that one so people can go and check that video out. They can drop you a like on the video, a sub to the channel, and basically all of that good stuff. But you know what? Like I said, it's basically a new journey on this channel, and what better man to bring than the #1 watcher CC? I hope Ivy doesn't divorce me, but you know, she was, you know, the #1. But baby and all that, we got a little bit busy, and especially when it comes to deep diving, you're definitely #1 CC when it comes to that, because I know from what I've seen and from what Ivy has told me as well, you just, when you deep dive into something, you go all the way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Ivy's definitely always my #1, but I appreciate it.
That's why I married her.
I'm excited to get Gear Raid 4, Gear Dungeon 1 done for you.
Yeah, so basically that's why I got Fastidious on the channel. I've been struggling with this, you know, because I'm playing 3 games at the same time, I'm not gonna be, you know, perfect at everything. I don't get the time. Plus the little one, you know, have Lily now. I'm basically a hands-on father when it comes to her, so I always try to be there, you know, help change her, feed her, spend time with her. I don't have as much time as I would love to constantly, you know, geek out and deep dive and do that. But I knew that I had the gear and the champions in order to do this, so that's why I said, you know, I need some help, and that's where you came in. So basically we already did the builds before this, just to make it easier and smoother. We're gonna show a little bit the builds, I guess, at towards the end. But the way I want to do this is I'm gonna let Fastidious run this, because he knows what he's talking about more than me, and he's gonna explain the team, show, you know, whatever, and maybe give ideas for replacements. And if I'm gonna have any questions, I'm just gonna ask them. And I guess we're gonna take should we take a quick pause now to just make ourselves smaller, and then we go with it? Okay, we're gonna be right back, guys.
There's gonna be a lot going on the screen, so we got to get teeny tiny.
Yeah, so be right back. Okay, we just became smaller all of a sudden, but you know, there's lots gonna be happening, and Fastidious has to show us everything, and you guys gotta see it. So I guess, my friend, you take it from here.
Sure. So we're running a pretty meta option. We're going to run Valk on top, which is definitely the most common strat. It is not needed at all. I have a guide, no Valk. It's the main guide for this on my channel. However, if we're doing takeovers, we're trying to help people out, this is the conventional way to do it. And you actually have the perfect setup. I'll say you don't have a legendary lord, but a sold out should be just fine. And we have Gwendolyn. So I guess we could quickly talk about Gwendolyn and what she's going to do, and then we can head into the fight, just because I think this might be the #1 thing that catches people's eye. Gwendolyn gives a shield to someone in range, and it's enormous. So we were so lucky before we started filming. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so basically we're just preparing the builds, doing stuff, and said, okay, yeah, let's book her. And Fastidious was like, yeah, we just need A3, and just went like 8 ultimate. And just I think all 5 of them just straight up ultimate.
Yeah, we needed we can do 6 skill ups with skill dust on a legendary before you go to crystals, and I didn't want to use any crystals on her, so I was like, let's just get 2 in the ultimate. If we can get level 3, it's fine. And like 4 of the first 5 just went straight to the ultimate. So yeah, even if you can just get it level 3, or even at base if you got good gear, it's more than enough. You actually, with this, we can tinker with it, but I think I just want to get right down into the nitty gritty. You might even, with such a powerful shield we're about to get, you might even be able to run no Dolores. That's how powerful Gwendolyn is paired with Valkyria, because she's going to give 80% of her max HP at this level 4. If it's level 3, it'd be 70, and at base it's 60. But she's got really high base HP. You get a decent build on her. We're over 60k. So what this be? It's gonna be like 40. Wait, let me do the math. Oh my god. Yeah, 48,000. Right? That's crazy. That she's gonna give to Valkyria. Valkyria, if we go over here, and then we'll get right into the battle. Don't worry, guys. If I can find Valkyria, where the heck? There she is. You'll see we only built her with 26,000. So this shield is going to be almost double her entire HP, which is going to exceed the cap to get the max benefit from her ultimate. That she will get a 100% damage boost based on the shield she consumes. So she's going to double her damage on top of all the other crazy stuff in Valkyria. So combine that with, by the end of the battle, as she's built this passive, She's going to have stacked a ton of attack on herself, and this is all post-deployment attack. So it's not off of her base stats. It's off of the build we put on her, which I believe is like over 14K already. I can show you right here. So basically that gives us the top sorted. We'll also run Dolores there next to Valkyria just as an extra boost. One negative for people, if you struggle, there's RNG that Gwendolyn might put the shields on Dolores. However, as long as you don't put Dolores for the first one right away to make sure that initial shield goes on Valkyria, we should be okay. Aside from that, we're kind of off to the races and we can already begin. Everything else will be fairly conventional. I can explain maybe after or maybe in between stage 5 and stage 6, because hopefully we're about to do both. I can explain other options, but I think for now, let's just head in and I'll explain to you what I'm going to do. Sound good?
I think that's good. And the one thing that I'm really happy about, and it's something that it's really common in gacha games from my point of view, I'm happy that I have a spot for Gwendolyn. Maybe I have no idea how to use her properly, but I've not used her at all. Like I pulled for her when she was the guaranteed, never used her. So the fact that she's kind of like the one of the stars of the show for this team makes it feel good for me that, you know, I didn't pull for nothing.
I can tell you right away, we could do it with Vortex. However, like I'll just show you. We don't even need Dolores right now for stage 5. That's what we can just demo that now. For stage 6, just for convenience and speed, I think I might bring her. We honestly might not need her for stage 6, but I'll show you right now. We don't even need her for stage 5. So let's just run these 9 people. It doesn't matter. We're about to get a W.
Okay.
So let's head in. I'll explain it. I haven't done this in a couple weeks because I've been focusing on Gear Raid 5, aka Gear Dungeon 2. So I got to focus a bit. Essentially, we'll place Virna right here. She's going to be our main DPS. I will say a huge benefit on your account that makes this maybe less, I guess, more meta, but less accessible is we have Demi, who's amazing. So she's the second best Lord in the game for this. Morgan would be the best just because of the skill. But as a Lord and hero, Demi's so much better than Morgan because she's going to put out solid damage, crazy anti-heal during her ult, and constant slows. So the slows are going to enable the damage boost from the cultist faction. That's the Lord skill that comes with all of them. And she's just wearing a lot of hats. She's like maybe the best hero. Her and Valkyria maybe are the best heroes in the game for this. You can see also we're running no Elwyn. So that's a cool thing that going on this comp. But a lot of the other stuff is pretty meta. I guess no legendary Northern Lord. But yeah, we basically get this down here. Now we've got Hollow. We're going to place her here. She's in an Invig set. So that's going to go on Virna. And now the cost when you run Virna as your main DPS, because she's 20, and when you run Hollow down here instead of like an Elwyn, because she's 17 instead of 16, the cost is really tight. Just to explain this so I don't mess up. The second you hit 19, you got to get one of your tanks out. So we'll do Broke here first. It doesn't really matter. We're going to put him in front the second we hit 19, because otherwise, you see now she turns, she's going to face Broke here. She targets him. Otherwise, she was going to go for Hollow. Very likely she was going to get one shot.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's a
pain. So if you do like Comet and Elwyn, that's 2 costs less because Comet's 19, Elwyn's 16. So it's like it's not as sweaty. But if you're gonna run the 20 and the 17, it needs to be like boom right away, get your tank down. All right, we're pretty good to go now. We can trigger right away with Virna. No reason not to, just to get a little early damage out. Could have waited till this was in view, but it doesn't matter. We can trigger Hollow. As soon as we can, we're gonna get Gwendolyn, excuse me, we're gonna get Demi down. Looks pretty good. Can already trigger Broke here. The reason I'm doing these early triggers is I'm already building Soulbound Arcana, building the buff, building stacks for Virna, so she's going to be super strong by the time this comes down. We let this happen a bit. Slowly pick these guys off. I'm just trying to see how we are on cost. If I could get a quick, because what could be nice is to get Gwendolyn out now so she's ready for Valkyria. I don't think we will, though. I think we have to go. This actually might be fairly tight on cost now that I'm thinking out loud here. I think Demi might slow it down enough. We might have to restart. I'm willing to risk it. We're going to go for Gwendolyn right now. Let's see. So we need 19 costs. We should get it with the slows. So we're going to hold off on Demi now to make sure that we're getting all the anti-heal starting when everybody's in range. So when these back guys are in this tile, that's when I'll trigger her. And I'm not going to trigger. You'll see with the slows, she's buying us a ton of time. We go. All right, so trigger. And we won't do Virna till the end, right? Because we want to take advantage of her execute. Get those slows going. Here comes Crowdor. Perfect. Good to go. So look how nice and low they're getting. We're very overpowered for stage 5 right now.
That's good. It means stage 6 is going to be easier.
We're going to get stage 6 for sure. All right, we need to wait for Valkyria, though. So you see now Gwendolyn's ready. And your Valkyria was max skill, so she should be able to ult pretty immediately. So pretty good stuff there. So we'll look how big this shield she's about to give is. So there's only one hero in range, right? At A0,
Yeah.
she can only put it on one hero, but it's only Valkyria. So she's guaranteed we're going to get a big old shield on here. And look at this thing. Crazy. So this
That's
guarantees
crazy.
us the max benefit. And now Valkyria can just delete button everything. And she's already hitting for 97k just to start, which is really good. Now we're going to place the Invig and we'll get a little boost. So we can place Laurel down. I'm actually going to leave Laurel just to get a benefit from when I trigger the ults here. I think we should be able to pull that off. We'll see if she has enough. I think she will. Again, with stage 5, you've got very good heroes, obviously, and quite good gear. So we're a bit overtuned for stage 5.
Yeah, definitely
Let's
looks.
wait. I trigger. Demi takes a little while to come around. Is your Demi max skilled? I actually didn't check that.
I don't think so. No, I don't think she's max skilled.
Okay. Also, I'll quickly say if you needed Rage for Virna, potentially you could point Laurel down here. So she would have Valkyria and Virna in range, but we didn't need that.
Yeah, and that helps because when you proc her ultimate, she boosts, I think, 3 people in range.
Yeah, exactly. It's at A5, it's 3.
Yeah.
We can actually already get this going. Taking a minute here. We didn't even have to use Virna. You see that?
Yeah.
And now we'll pick up Laurel. So now we can go. That shield should honestly be big enough now because we've been able to build some passive. So let's see. 86 looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll make it. It will be actually hard for stage 6. So I think we are, just for stage 6, we will bring Dolores as intended.
Yeah. I still cannot believe that Valkyria just on her own deals with it at the top.
Yeah,
I remember when I did lower stages, obviously I was not using Gwendolyn. I was using Valkyria and Demi at the top and a tank in front. So
yeah.
it does help when you can drop 2 people that you need to bring up.
It really makes the whole, you can breathe. We're only bringing 9 units right now, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't even like need Laurel per se.
We're flexing a bit.
Yeah. You also have A1 Valkyria, which I'll mention now. So right now you can see, because we kind of overkilled, we killed things too fast. This is a big issue, especially whales in encounter. People with really crazy accounts or very endgame players. You killed the mob so quickly on top that you don't leave anyone alive when she finishes ulting, so you can't build rage off of her attacks because there's nothing to attack. However, if you have A1 Valkyria, now she's going to be able to put out hits and build some rage. So that helps a ton. Otherwise, the run would be toasted. So let's see. Taking forever on Demi, so I'm going to have to check her skills.
Yeah, she might not be skilled.
Yeah. And we might just have to build her with more rage regen as well. So let's get her going. Should be okay, though. How's Valkyria doing? Valkyria is also taking a ton of time on top, so we're going to have to figure that out. With no Eloin, things are a lot sweatier. We can trigger now. We'll get Laurel down. We should just make it, I hope, because that's a huge shield. Come on. So the front guys are taken care of. The run might blow here. We'll see if she can take care of the back guys in time. Hitting for a decent amount, but yeah, you can see clearly that wouldn't be enough. Come on. She might just make it. Come on, Valkyria. The good thing is she's blocking those 2. No, but she killed one of them, so now she's going to get one shot, I think. Yeah. Can she just get it? The shield's huge. Come on. I think she's going to just get killed. Oh, there's a shield. Come on. It's very sweaty. Well, now we're just sitting around. Yeah, now she goes. We might actually just be able to stall this out, so I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, that's good.
You can see the issue with Demi here. I'm still waiting. I actually might go just for the one shot with Virna by herself. Not enough. All right. So now we're going to have to just wait for Demi and hope for the best on the bottom. I think we might make it on the top. No, we're not going to, because we still have that last round. Okay, so we are going to bring Dolores, unfortunately. If you want, you can fast forward to that point.
Yeah, we're gonna get back towards the end of that one and catch up there.
I will quickly say you can include this. If we had Eloin, which is a big if, but then we would have had way more rage, because right now Valkyria is not getting any free rage regen. So I think still it would be possible, no Dolores and no Eloin, but we would have had to build a nice chunk of rage regen on Valkyria, which I neglected to do. So I would suggest run Dolores, because otherwise you just can't keep it going enough. You can't cycle it fast enough. And definitely we are going to need Laurel, so good thing that we're bringing her. All right, should we just hop back in and then we pick it back up?
Yeah, we're gonna just pick it up once we get to that point.
All right, so we are back. I made a couple little changes. We put a little bit of Rage Regen on Demi because she just takes forever. Her ult cost, I believe, is like 1100, even though you have it max, which is just a
Yeah.
ton. It's either 1000 or 1100. I'll pause it for a second. We also put some gear on a Solde in case I have to do a switch cycle later for Laurel because your Valkyrie is killing the top so quickly. We're having trouble building Rage. And then finally, we're bringing Dolores now, and we're bringing her in a Tumultuous Horn, and that's why we're re-entering the fight right now because I want to show you guys what I'm about to do. Basically, we don't really need Dolores for stage 5 to have the Tumultuous Horn to get the ult up as fast as possible, but we're going to need it for stage 6. I can demonstrate it right now. So Hollow's ready. Let's trigger her. And now you'll see I want to get Laurel down, so we'll get the damage boost from her passive, and then I can immediately give a rage boost to Valkyria. But then I can get Dolores down to get an ult, to get the inspiration, right? And I think for stage 6, we will need that. So you can see they're about to come. This portal right by your head, just to the right of you. When this explodes, that means they're about to come. So we can already trigger Gwendolyn, and we can trigger, there's the line. Now we can trigger Valkyria. So now she gets the damage boost. You can see, so this is the 20% from Laurel. Now I can pick up Laurel, and now you can see this will really be relevant on stage 6. Basically, we've got the Tumultuous Horn. It's a legendary artifact for anyone that doesn't know. It's giving 50% boost to initial rage. So now Dolores will be able to ult really quickly. We shouldn't really need it now, so I'm actually going to sit, but for stage 6, we very well will need it. You'll also see we haven't had to place Crowdor yet, and that's because we just killed them so fast with the slows from Demi, the damage from Demi, the anti-heal, and the damage from Virna. So that actually was another way we bought ourselves a lot of time. But you can see Valkyria will take care of it like it's nothing on top, doing a great job. Now we can get Crowdor down. We're back at it. Let's go. So another thing for stage 5, if your build is as good as yours is, especially on the beginning ones, I would suggest people don't trigger Dolores's ult because she might kill these two guys too quickly, and then again she'll have no one to attack. So she's really we've got Dolores there as like a safety measure for later in the fight if the rage gets off. For stage 6, you very well might need her.
Honestly, I just learned something today from you. I didn't know that you don't gain any rage, and if you just do basic attacks, you gain more rage. I never knew that.
Oh yeah. So you can gain rage in 3 ways. You can stop. This is for anyone watching. I think this might be a good takeaway. You can gain rage from Rage Regen Auto, which is just how much rage you gain per second. This is the rage cost for your ultimate. Then you get Rage Regen Attack. That's how much rage you get when you do an attack, and that's what Rage Regen percentage scales off of. And then you get Rage Regen Attacked, how much rage you generate when you are attacked. And that also is what Rage Regen scales off of. There's a complicated formula with a base value that's different for every hero, and then a stat called hedging, which I don't 100% understand, but I do know the equation. But basically, you need to be doing attacks, especially for offensive heroes, or getting attacked, especially for defensive heroes, but it does work for both, to build rage quickly. Otherwise, you're only building rage from your auto, which for her is probably like 14. So even though she's got a low rage cost of 500 for her ultimate, I mean, 14 a second takes a while, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what makes
well over 30 seconds.
I guess that's why it makes sense for like in guild boss teams where there's like the Twin Fin, the Pyros one. People build them with a ton of attack speed because they want
exactly.
them
yeah,
to
that's
attack
why for a lot of stuff, especially once you build up your Pantheon and you get a lot of rage regen percentage there, there's essentially a soft cap on rage regen percentage at 100%. So you can focus really heavily on attack speed because just having more opportunities to generate rage is going to be more valuable than having each rage generation be more powerful, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad I learned something, and hopefully the people learned something as well.
Happy to help.
If I don't, if I don't know it as a CC, you know, it's like actually there's plenty.
So really quickly, I just want to say I saw that the damage was looking good enough, so we trigger with Virna. Unfortunately, this guy survived, but we do have Crowdor who has the extra block, so that will help us later on. Here's a good example. You see, even though she's not ulting, she's just killing these guys right away. So she's not building the rage right now. However, you can see because of Laurel and stuff, she's getting ready to go as it stands. So we're kind of okay. And you see she's building way more each hit. You see there's a little jump. That's basically what I'm talking about. So now we're in the clear. Valkyria is taking forever, but it doesn't matter. Not Valkyria, Gwendolyn. Doesn't matter. As soon as Valkyria is ready, just make sure she has a shield also, guys. Otherwise, she doesn't get the extended range, the full extra tile to hit the back row. You need to make sure she has a shield to consume to get that benefit. Also, I just want to say, so I did Virna early, which means we saved Demi, so it will help a lot with our cycling right now. I'm also going to sit off of Hollow so it can all be perfect. Let's see what this damage looks like. 84. So now I will trigger Dolores. And I'm actually going to pick up Crowdor. It will all make sense in a second. Because I just can tell we're going to have the damage. See how quickly she kills them. It's crazy. So now I can go like this because I picked up Crowder. I get a deploy. I can go like this. We geared out Isolde with some gear, enough gear that should build us, especially on stage 5, enough time for Crowder to come back around if we need him later on. Oh, that's really nice. And now we can just sit on everything. The ults are looking good. We wait. So that's a big shield already on Valkyria. We'll see in a second when those guys march out. I'm already going to trigger Demi just so we're ahead of time. We might have to be a little more, a little less conservative and a little more patient when we do stage 6. But for now, that is fine. Let's trigger Valkyria. No, see, so there you go. That's the Gwendolyn just placed the shield on herself, which is a big bummer. However, she just got from her basic attack. She also placed nice shields. That's the other thing. Even her basic attack shields are kind of awesome. So there you go. We got Valkyria. We'll sit on Dolores here. The damage should be good enough, I think. Yeah, it is. Over 100 is fine for stage 5. We're looking good here. Let's pick them off on the bottom. All right, we're waiting. See, Demi just killed them by herself. I didn't even have to trigger Virna, which is crazy. Now we'll trigger Hollow to help Demi. It looks like Demi's not getting that. I think that's what's going on. I think there's a bug here. Doesn't look like Demi's getting boosted from Hollow.
Yeah, there's no rage boost when she gets
There's no rage boost. It looks like it. I don't know. It's weird. But we're good. And you'll see this is what I was working towards. So now here's Isolde. She barely had to do anything. So good to know the timing's going to be pretty solid. And now this will help us a ton for the end because I was worried about rage. And you can see I should be because she has no rage right now. We can quickly pick up Isolde, put down, get a boost for Valkyria, now put Crowder back. We'll trigger. And now we got to wait around for Demi, but we should have all the time in the world. So not too shabby. Valkyria finishes this off. You can see how much rage she's building now. She kills those guys.
Yeah.
Now we're going to trigger Gwendolyn. Hopefully that lands on Valkyria. Nope, back on herself. Awesome. She does have some amount of shield, so I can consume that. You see it shatters. Now we're definitely going to use Dolores, so that was a good contingency. We'll trigger, and as soon as Demi's ready, the fight will be over. She can just wake up. Sweet. All right, so these are all the same principles are going to hold for stage 6. Sorry that stage 5 took some tinkering, but it's actually for interesting reasons, right? The main problem was your Valkyria was too strong.
Imagine that, being too strong to fun stuff.
This is a problem I've had a lot in takeovers. It's finding that balancing act, with Valkyria. So.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, again, like that's something that, even though like it's logical if you think about it, like I never thought about it, the fact that you need that specific amount of rage regen or rage to happen by doing your basic attacks.
Yeah, and especially without Elwyn. Just because think about it, she would be getting so much rage from Elwyn since Elwyn's covering the whole map with no, there's not dependent upon anything. However, so yeah, you can just run Elwyn and Hollow spot. It's better. It just is a strategy. However, you can see it works. Should we go right into stage 6? Any questions?
Yeah, I think we just go straight into stage 6 because it's pretty much almost the same principle you explained a little bit during 5, but then you're gonna explain again now, and then at the end we're gonna explain because we did some changes in between the pauses with like champions, gears, and whatnot, and we're gonna keep that towards the end.
Yeah. Still, this is the exact same gear I just explained on that last run. But we'll actually show it now after this run. I want to quickly say so for Gear Raid 5, Gear Dungeon 2, it does change a lot. Like with how you have to cycle with the magic clones and the physical clones for anyone that's done it and knows what I'm talking about, from stage 4 to stage 5, and then stage 5 to stage 6. Actually, from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. They're all kind of different with the cycling and what you have to pay attention to. 5 to 6 is identical in Gear Dungeon 1, Gear Raid 4. However, the mobs hit so much harder and there's so much tankier. So it's really just like a gear check, hero check. But actually the principles are identical. So I'll talk you through it as we go, but it's much more straightforward. So we get her down, we get Hollow, we wait for the 19. You asked me a good question before when we weren't filming, why I do Hollow instead of just doing the tank now. And that's just to guarantee that the Invig lands on Virna.
Yeah.
You're saying, why do I not just place the tank and make it less sweaty? That's the reason.
Because basically what Volka does is she always attacks the tank.
Yeah, and if there's no tank, if there's no tank, she place the last place unit.
Yeah,
that was the fear with I don't want Hollow to get one shot.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's no use in having Invig on Broke here. We really want that on Virna, especially for stage 6 where damage is going to be. You're going to see the difference on the bottom. I mean, we did a couple kills that you guys might have caught where I didn't even trigger Virna's ultimate. That will not be happening this time.
Yeah.
Not at all. So let's trigger. I'm gonna be a little more quiet. I'm gonna be a little more focused. All right, let's get Demi down. We're gonna sit on Brokier's ult now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like, I do the same thing sometimes. I just be more quiet focused because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, people need to see what's happening properly. Like basically copy what you're doing in order to do it properly. There's no point us talking if it's not
Yeah.
helping.
So really quick to explain why I place Gwendolyn now. I really want to make sure she has her ult ready, for when we place Valkyria, because I want to do it right away. That's that explanation. So I'm still going to try to trigger Demi a little earlier than I was doing before, just since I went for this more aggressive DPS build. If we have to, I'll put her in a much more speedy Rage Agent build. I will say I do have an attack speed amulet on her, so it's not like I've neglected it entirely. But yeah. Let's wait. Let's see how the damage looks with the slows. I think I might have to get Crowdor down. Let's see. I might be able. Hold on. I think maybe we can get this with the kill here. Let's try. We'll just restart if we can't. Got it. Yes. Okay. That buys us a ton of flexibility. So we can get that first one without placing a second tank. And that really is on the back of Demi. The only other way to do that is with Greed, or if you've seen my guide, I use Mari. I will say Mari is the hardest to use for sure. I just used her in my guide to make it more like free to play accessible, since she's a free hero. But oh my God.
Yeah.
Technically, Greed is a free hero, but you really need him A5 for it to work. It just won't work otherwise. So that's not so free to play friendly. Let's trigger. Let's hold. All right, let's trigger the shields here. Nice. Now we get lower down. So you're going to see it's going to be big damage. We got a huge shield. As soon as these guys start walking, when I see the red line, we'll trigger. Now we'll get the damage boost from Laurel's passive. We'll pick her up. Now we can get Dolores down. Let's see what the damage looks like. 113 already. That's 129. Great start. So you can see that was it went from 113 to 129 because the passive kicked in. We got another 5% post-deployment attack. So we wait. Timing's looking really good. Holding off on Broke here, I think, is Crowdor is going to be a saving grace for us. So you see, I'm just trying to figure out if I need to use Dolores right now. I don't think we do. You can see they're at about half health, and we have just over half left. So let's get Crowdor down. Yeah, because I want to hold off on Dolores to make sure we can build a ton of rage from these two. I will say you're going to see the rage cycling is going to be better on 6 than it was on 5, because it's going to take us longer to kill these guys coming from the right quarter. Yeah. So this is actually some people on really crazy accounts that are like new to this find 5 sometimes harder, weirdly enough, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's trigger here. As soon as we can get Demi going, we will. And then we are going to pick up Crowdor for a similar thing like I talked about last time to get Laurel back down. But look at this rage. She's almost already ready. You see?
Yeah, that's crazy.
See the difference? It's crazy, right? So let's focus. Let's see. Crowdor is just not triggering. What's going on, buddy? So Crowdor refuses to trigger his ult. That's fun. Damage looks pretty good. If the damage isn't as good as for you guys as you're seeing it is for you, Odd One, you want to wait till it's the very end of Demi's ult. So you have the max amount of time that you've put out DPS from Virna and Demi while the anti-heal's still up, and then do the execute,
Yeah, because you want to make sure that it's that 25%.
That it's under under that 35% threshold. So now we're good to go. Let's trigger. Let's trigger this. Let's trigger this. And now we will use Dolores. So you see the damage should be really big. 140. It's plenty.
Yeah.
We're going to pick up Crowdor. I actually think the rage was looking pretty good with how much tankier these guys from the right are now and how many more hits we got out. But still, we will do this pickup strat. I think we're fine, as we saw, as long as we can cycle with Demi. This Isolde is not in a great build. For anyone who doesn't know, Isolde has really low base defense. However, it's a good enough build to buy us the 40 seconds or whatever we're going to need. It'd probably only be 10 seconds she has to survive. And look at Valkyria on top. It's close, but she is going to make it. You see that?
Yeah.
Nice and tight. So we absolutely needed Dolores here. I would say if you had Elder, we wouldn't need Dolores, because Elder with that it's a big if, but if we had Elder, and just for viewers that might have him, Elder instead of Isolde. And you can use Elder the way we're using Isolde when you see the builds. Just build him as a tank. Don't even treat him as a fighter. And definitely use him in a Lunacy visor for the extra block. Okay, let's wait. Waiting all day for Demi, which is very much par for the course. Trigger. Got 20 seconds that we need Isolde to survive. I'm actually not just going to insta-trigger Isolde. I'm going to do it when we really need the shields. Also taking a long time with Gwendolyn here, so we're actually not going to be able to use this ult. Well, so right now there's no shield on Valkyria, so I can't use her, or otherwise the whole run would fail. Oh, we can trigger Demi. Let's trigger Solda now. There's a shield. All right, go. And go. Keeping an eye on the bottom. I want to trigger Virna fairly early. We don't have to be that aggressive. We do kind of have a lot of time on the bottom now. Let's see. Also, if you guys ever have the problem I have, sorry, I'm doing so many random little tips where the numbers, I find this a lot on Gear Raid 4. The numbers on the bottom are so frequent, I can't see the health bar for Virna. Just click, and the super slow-mo, you can really get a good sense, you know?
Yeah.
Solda died, but look at that. We just made it. Just make it. Yes. Perfect. And that's how that cycling works. Wow, that was a cool demonstration. Just made it. All right, here comes, and I'm going to wait for Broke here. I could have done another cycle. I probably should have done another cycle before placing Crowder, but that was very tight. I think we'll still make it, especially if the shield lands on Gwendolyn as it frickin' should. Let's see. Taking forever again, Demi. So hopefully our guys can hold on as well. This is going to be very hard for them to tank it. The way I see the run failing right now, there's two ways. One of these guys dies because they're going to have to tank for so long, or we don't build the Rage with Valkyria fast enough. Both are seeming possible. Let's see. We might be able to pick up Hollow in 1 second. If we can make it. We'll have to see. That's going to be very tight. Very, very tight. Come on, Demi. This is all up to Demi now. And you see Crowdor's taking a ton of damage. Don't die, Crowdor. Come on. Don't die. Trigger. So this will help. So when Broke your shielded, it's going to give reductions to adjacent allies in the cross. So that will help Crowdor. We need Demi to come up. I've had enough of this. She needs to wake up. I think she's about to blow our run. Who can I pick up? Let's see. All right, this is what we're going to have to do. Total desperation play. Yeah, I think that we blew the run. We're going to have to figure out a quick cycle down there. I'm going to have to make it so we pick up Crowder a little earlier, which means he's ready earlier, which means we could have gotten Laurel down, picked her up that one last time, you know? Oh,
yeah, so we rotate that extra rage regen.
That one little extra, that'd be the difference right now. However, we can go like this. Demi's ready. Let's see. Trigger. Hopefully that shield lands on Valkyria. Of course it doesn't. Oh, it landed on both. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's trigger. We're gonna pick up Broke here. Believe it or not, it's our only shot in heck. I think the run's still gonna fail, but now we can get Valkyria. And now this will make it. But those last two are gonna make it through. Maybe I can tank it out. We'll have to see. No. So darn close. You're going to see as soon as they touch, unfortunately, she starts healing. That's basically going to be it. We might be able to hold on for an unconventional clear, but I think we should just start over and pick it back up and show people the right way, right?
Yeah, towards I guess when we're gonna be back at a point where you pick what's his name, Crowdor faster.
Exactly. I will say, if you guys find yourself in the situation, you might be able to tank it out long enough and you could start picking these guys up. You might be able to buy enough time, but we want to show this the right way. So we'll do one more restart. Yeah.
Okay, one more. So see you in a bit, guys.
Okay, guys, here we are. We're on the second cycle on the bottom, second cycle on the top. So basically what we're going to do, nothing's going to change. However, I'm going to pick up Broke here this time because I can pick him up a little earlier since these guys, he's the one in front. These guys will take a little longer reaching first through Crowdor and then to the portal. Because of Demi's slows, and that little bit extra time should also allow us for the extra Laurel cycle later on, you know?
Yeah.
The whole thing should just be a little earlier. That's the goal, at least. We do have to wait for a bit, as you can see, because Demi takes forever, which is my new bugaboo. It's driving me crazy.
Come on, Demi.
But yeah, basically I'm going to try to see how early can I pick up. We're also going to sit on that ult from Crowdor in case we need the extra block. But building a lot of great rage already, so we don't need Laurel yet for this next one. Come on, Demi, wake the heck up. I will trigger Crowdor now. There we go. And we're going to try this as early as possible. Let's trigger. Valkyria has a shield. I'm already going to trigger her now. And I'm going to trigger Dolores. I think that's enough. Let's pick up Broke here. You also see, guys, it's just not working out the RNG with Gwendolyn. To really get the perfect Gwendolyn strat, you want like no Dolores, so you can really guarantee the shields going onto Valk. Also, something that's happening a lot is she's placing them on herself, which I'm not used to seeing so much, but it's happening. There you go. We can see we took care of the bottom. Really nice. And now we should buy that extra tile of time. You saw how tight the placement of Crowdor was last time. We should have a little bit extra time to place Broke here, and that should be the difference to get an extra cycle with Laurel. That's the plan, at least.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you don't have that for the top Valkyra, just if you get stuck, she's one shot.
Yeah, exactly. So now there's Laurel. Now we placed a Solda in front, and you'll see we need a Solda to survive the extra 19-second interval between. And she can die. Just hold them off long enough that we can get Broke here out there. And I think we should be able to, because we want to get one more Laurel cycle later. You can see Valkyra's handling really well. Valkyra plus Dolores, it's pretty nice on top. You can do a really good job. There she goes. She just picks off that last guy. Let's trigger Hollow. So we need to survive 30 seconds or so. So we're counting on you now. Let's see. We got that shield going. Let's try with Gwendolyn to see if we can get the big shield. Yes, we got it. Okay. Damage is going to be huge. Trigger. Finally. I'm also going to hold off on the Crowdor ult in case we need the extra block if a Solda dies too early. We need to survive another 20 seconds. I think we're going to make it, though, because we already got Demi up. All right, now we're going to trigger. I don't care if a Solda dies at this point. You can see she's got like half health. We should have more than enough time with the Demi slows to get enough damage between Demi and Virna to line up the Virna execute. So we're pretty good. And then obviously we're going to have a huge window in between while the next guys are marching down. You can see there goes a Solda, but look at that. We've got enough. Perfect.
Yeah.
Trigger. And now we just got to make it these 10 seconds, which we will make. And this will be the difference. We'll get that Laurel down and we should be good to go.
Whew.
So I think 5 took us 3 tries, 6 took us 2, funny enough. But it was really just like learning your gear and learning your account. So now we can get her down. Let's trigger. Oh, let's get you down. Let's just wait. No reason for him to take extra damage before he has to. All right, now we will. Demi buys us a lot of time with those slows. You can use greed in the same way as Demi, right? The difference is he's not putting out anti-heal. So for that, you just can't have a tank. So that's how like I did it on my account. It's very hard. Very hard. The gear requirement's much higher. And actually, the way I had to do is I had to run Dolores over here with Virna.
Yeah, that's the video I saw.
Yeah,
and
when it's very hard. Yeah, and it's very hard because you need your Dolores have enough healing to heal herself because she'll be out of range if you use Element or something.
Yeah, that's why I was looking when you said they were gonna use Dolores stop. I'm like, but I saw your video use that at the back.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Broker's about to die. We're taking a tons of damage, but if frickin' Demi can just hold on. All right, look at that. We're good with Valk. We're good with Dolores. Consume the shields. Trigger. So the top is done. It's all up to the tanky boys on the bottom now. Really, it's up to Demi. Demi, are you going to ult or not? That's where we're at.
You have one job. You have one job, Demi.
You have one job. All right, let's see. Trigger with Broke here. Nice. That should be enough. Let's go. So even if Broke here dies now, I think we're good to go. Trigger. We're going to try to just save the whole ult. And this should do it, guys. This should do it. Let's wait. Check and take a little peek. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's wait. And GG's in the chat.
There we go.
There we go.
Come on. Oh, man. That's,
got it done.
It's tricky and it's tough. I'm not going to lie.
It's a big juggling act.
Yeah, definitely would have taken me 100%, like triple the time or 4 times the time that took you. Like, you know, because when you try and watch somebody else to do it, like, you know, if you guys are watching this video and you're looking at it and you get frustrated that you don't hit it, just don't worry because, you know, Fastidious has done it a million times. And
this is normal. Like my 60th takeover. It's not even that I've done it a lot. I've done it a lot on different accounts. So it's like you can, you learn more and more every time what you're looking for. So. But even I learned something new. Demi's annoying as hell without Elwyn. That's what I learned.
Okay, so I guess it's a good time to jump in and show the builds. Show the builds and exactly what we use. Then maybe if there's like any I mean, what am I talking? You know what to say, like with replacements with other gear. Like, why am I even talking? Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So here's Isolda. She's in our third best tank build, 86, 6k defense. She did die, and it's because of the 6k defense. I think in general for a main tank, you want like 8k. If you're gonna use Isolda as a main tank, which I have done on takeovers, you're gonna have to run a defense bonus piece. You're gonna need her in Guardian. This is for stage 6. She's pretty hard to use, but you can make it work. For an alt tank though, this build is fine since she doesn't have to survive that long. Broke gear isn't our best tank gear. Also, Guardian set. Not crazy Guardian, though, so people don't need to be so worried. Just looking for HP and defense. We got into 10k defense because we ran a defense bonus on this one. I think that's a really good idea for this stuff because you really, especially for the main tank, 8k is like a minimum, but like 9k is kind of what I would shoot for. He's max skills, which is nice, and he's in a max out Bastion ring. I should actually show you quickly. Isolda, I believe, is in a promo 1 Bastion ring. Yeah. Plus 13. Let's keep going. Valkyria is going to be an Infernal Roar, which is really nice if you're having trouble killing the first wave. If you can kill the first wave, fine. Then I guess gear doesn't matter to begin with, but Soulbound Arcana would be best in slot, or Ageless Wrath could work well. But because the first one is the hardest, I think Infernal Roar is nice because it's hard to get enough ults triggered on the field by the time you need it. Basically, for Valkyria, you want a minimum of 14k attack. This is low, though, for stage 6. I'd say you really want 15k plus. We got away with this because we got consistent, solid shields from Gwendolyn. And worth mentioning, we're getting great shields from Gwendolyn just from her basic putting out shields, not just from the ult, right? Because obviously we only hit the ult that one big time. The first time you do need it, and then the one big time. But it's really the first time that helps with this strategy. Over 300% crit damage is kind of what you want. The more attack speed, the better. Over 400 is awesome, but I'd say at least 300 as a minimum, 350 as a more realistic minimum. And then the more higher it can go, the better. If you can hit 15k and 300, then get this as high as possible. That should be the next requirement. If you can get a little rage regen, that helps, obviously.
Of course.
But yeah, other thing, guys, if you run her in like 17k attack and 350% crit damage with 400 attack speed, she's going to kill those guys so fast. You know, you might not be able to get the rage as well as we did. So it's worth mentioning. She is in a nearly maxed out Realm Tear. Solid option. Flawless Blade's also a really good option. People seem to forget Flawless Blade. You get stacks when you aren't hit up to three stacks, and it's 11% per stack, so it's 33% biggest bonus in the game. People think, but then you get hit by the big Crimson Moon AOE from the boss, and you lose it. You only lose 1 stack, and you can generate a new stack in 4 seconds. So it really.
I think it's called different now, though. I think it's called Frigid Flame.
Oh, Frigid Flame. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah,
no, it's fine. I was just like, that sounds familiar. I'm using. Yeah, they keep changing them.
Frigid Flame. Yeah. I'll show them now so I don't confuse people. This one. There you go. Yeah. Frigid Flame. Okay, there you go. So that's Valk. Second best tank build, exactly the same as the other ones, just slightly better than Assault does. Looking for tons of defense because he's got good base defense, and we actually got it to 9k without using a defense main, so that's really good. I'd say at least 90k HP and then at least 8k defense for your main guys. The more, the merrier. Bastion ring at promo 2. For Gwendolyn, we actually ran her in Invig because I was thinking we would run maybe no Dolores as we saw for stage 5 on our first try, but she didn't need Invig, right? Because Valkyria got it from Dolores and could have gotten it from Laurel as well. So if you can't get these stats in Invig, just get it in Broken Set. It doesn't matter because the attack's not helping her. But 60k HP was really nice. Decent attack speed. A little bit more attack speed could have helped because we could have had her ult line up better. But as you can see, you really only need the ult for that first one to make sure you have enough damage because Valk builds so much attack as the fight goes on. And yeah, some Rage Regen was nice too. For skills, mostly just the ult. I think all the other guys, Crowdor did not have very high skills. Brokir was max and Valkyria was max wherever she's hiding out. There she is. And for Artifact, we ran her, and Artifact doesn't matter. So we needed the other 2 artifacts for. Oh, Dolores wasn't in an Artifact. Oh no, we put her in the. My bad. She was in the Tumultuous Horn to help. But we could have put this back on her. That would have helped a ton. But this was on Dolores before, so then we ran this just because it was the most promoted for the flat HP contribution. That's pretty funny. Yeah. That's Gwendolyn. Let's keep going. So now we ran a curse set. You have very good curse gear. For Demi, we ran some Warlord on the side. Here's a variant, but the plus 200 defense doesn't matter, so it's really just an ancient, but really nice one. You can see 16.1 attack. That's really good. Great attack interval. She obviously has that amazing scaling with the specialized speed. Not very high crit damage, but was enough, to be the supplemental kind of second DPS to Virna. And yeah, if we could have gotten more Rage Regen, it would have worked. Maybe a little bit better. So looking at how the damage shook out, I would tell people with this Virna build, we could have given up a nice chunk of attack maybe and gone for Rage Regen here or something. Or just hunted, maybe went broken set and hunted for more Rage Regen. She's in a 3 promo Tear of Twilight, and she's max skilled. Let's just go to Virna because she's right here. She's in the best soulbound on your account we could find. You have a lot of crit damage soulbound, not too much attack bonus. So it was a bit hard, but we did get the crit rate working with these huge rolls on this Annihilating Might. Attack was a little low at 15.5, but obviously it was plenty. It helped because we had a Legendary Lord. If you're going to run like a Bizu or Aeon, I think you're going to need over 16k for sure. The more attack, the merrier on Virna, because she's not with an inspiration hero. She's not with Dolores. Attack speed does not matter. We ignored it basically entirely. I mean, we picked up 197 actually, but that was not by design. It just happened. Crit damage, you're going to want over 300%. If you could get her to like 16k plus with like 320% crit damage, I think that's a sweet spot. She doesn't need that much Rage Regen if she's max skilled, which I think yours was on the ultimate. Yeah. Pretty good. So that's Virna, and then she's in a maxed out tier Twilight that you have. And then we've got Hollow, pretty close to your normal build for Guild Boss. However, we did put attack bonus here, kept the attack speed here, really because she needs to get some good heals. So we got her really high at 15.8. Very good attack speed at 630, which is crazy. 1.4 second interval and a little bit of Rage Regen. More Rage Regen would have been great, but we couldn't swing it. Max skilled A5, obviously. Almost done here. Laurel does not matter. If you need the damage boost, definitely make sure this is maxed out. You should just max skill your Laurel. She's amazing. She's in Invig. This is, again, because we were going to place it on Valkyria when we weren't running Dolores through this, but it didn't matter. She could honestly have been naked. It didn't matter. She was not targeted once, or just put random tank gear so she could survive one Crimson Moon if you want to lay her down. Nightmare Samsara, it doesn't matter. She didn't put out any hits. Finally, Dolores. We ran her in not your best Invig, because we had to put a couple pieces on Hollow, but you can see attack bonus, flat attack bonus, then we some Rage Regen, flat attack, and this one we didn't have either, so just attack bonus. Here went attack bonus, flat attack, and then attack bonus with flat attack main stat. We are at 12.5 in a Tumultuous Horn, and this was really so we could get that initial first inspiration. Yeah, that first ultimate, because the first one's the hardest. And just to explain that one time more clearly, and then I'll shut up. This passive, by the second wave already, but certainly the third and fourth on the top, it stacks so much and her attack gets so high. That's how we built her with 14k. But we did need the inspiration and the shields for the first one because she hasn't built her passive yet. So you saw I was like 113, then it immediately went up to 129. That was it kicking in. And that was only one stack. Imagine what it's like when you get the other 7 stacks by the end of the battle. It's a lot. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's amazing. And thank you for helping me with this. It's been something I've been banging my head for the, honestly, last 2 months, because the last rotation just couldn't push it forward. I tried a bit, busy again with the baby and whatnot, so I'm glad that I got the specialist here, and I'm quite sure my viewers that are watching this are going to be really happy to see this as well. But if you guys want to see more of content like this, like, honestly, from my point of view, the most amazing deep dive videos of guides of stuff like this, make sure you go check out Fastidious' channel. I'm going to add a link to it in the description, pin comment, go and like all of his videos, subscribe to his channel, share it with your mother, as he says. gotta share the love.
I cover Dragonair. I do about 2 videos a week, and I'm not good at Dragonair. So I think you are amazing. You've helped me before, but I'm assuming a lot of your viewers are really good. So if you guys want to come and help me in Dragonair, I would definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, share all the love and the advice. We might be content creators, but we don't always know everything. So we're always open to constructive and not mean criticism. You can give criticism without being mean, and we'll both take it. But
with Dragonair, I wouldn't mind mean criticism. I'm like stuck in the mid game right now, so I need all the help I can get. I'm plateauing.
I mean, I guess we might be seeing, we might be sorting a collab to that in the next few days, maybe. Next week. Why not? I'm always happy to help. But I think we have taken enough of your time. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the help. Thank you very much. Again, guys, make sure to go and check out his channel and subscribe over there. There's going to be a link in the description and the pinned comment. Thank you, Fastidious. Any last words? Anything else you want to share with my viewers?
I can do this for you. Maybe you can figure it out yourself, but I just want to say you are going to have to reset your run almost certainly with Power Dominance, because you're going to be so strong now. So that's just a tip for everybody, because your Valkyria and stuff is going to be, you might have to take some gear off or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Honestly.
gonna start regearing people like, for sure, and then it's like
Yeah,
they might be
yeah.
weaker.
Yeah, but that's just a tip for the viewers. A lot of people have the problem that they beat it and then they're like, "Oh, Power of Dominance doesn't work." But yeah,
That's the reason.
yeah,
Because
good
again,
luck.
that rage region.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we're gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you again, Fastidious, for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.
Thank you.